No, it's fine. I'm driving me a stogie.
Okay, and now we're starting with
dude.
part two. Part two. The Outlaws Pass.
All right. As far as I'm concerned, the Dalatov Pass incident seems really interesting, especially considering that Russia in 2019 reopened the investigation. And I think that they settled, if I'm not mistaken, with an avalanche led to the death. Does that not sound like something Russia would say? It was an avalanche. Everybody died, right?
Yeah, they're just making it up.
Yeah, but isn't there a lot more intriguing things here, though? Like, I mean...
Just about any theory you can come up with, there's something that explains why that didn't happen.
Yeah, but could you imagine? Okay, let's see. How big was the party? The party was...
There was like 9? Wasn't it like 9 people?
I believe it was. And then legal inquest. A legal inquest started immediately after the first 5 bodies were found, right? And they found no injuries that might have led to their death. So does that not say immediately that it was not an avalanche? If the bodies are not covered in snow, that means it's not an avalanche, right?
Right. Well, there couldn't have... I thought we said earlier in part 1 that we're not talking about a 90-degree mountain. This is like walking. It's just like hilly. They don't have the amount of degree slope that could cause an avalanche.
Well, you actually seem more well versed on the fucking geography of the goddamn mountain there, Champ.
It's crazy. Yeah, I've really.
But I do.
I've listened to like 2 podcasts already on Outlaw Pass.
But I do believe that it was kind of a fair weather kind of hiking pass.
Yeah, there was no. There's so many things.
Right, and I think Russians are accustomed to snow too. I don't think it bothers them.
Oh no, and these people are like they would do things. I read they did things for certificates. Like if you can make this trek up this mountain, if you could make this trek up this mountain, you have a 2-degree certificate. And they're not even real certificates. They're just verbal. It's like, okay, you did this, you claim this mountain, you have 2-degree certificate. And so they just do things to like be like, oh yeah, you did that? Well, I did that. You did not. He's like, yeah.
Well, I appreciate that fucking Russian way of life too, though. It's like, I did it, and it's like, hey, prove I didn't, pussy.
Yeah, you tried to tell me I didn't do it, I tell you I did, comrade.
Prove that I didn't. And it's like, okay, you did it. You did it. But the thing is, it's like, it opens up a new avenue of conversation when you think about, like, hypothermia.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting thing where people, what is that, like, frantic undressing or manic undressing? Isn't that strange?
Yeah, oh yeah, the way you feel like you're burning up. Like, it's like, I got to get these clothes off.
Right.
Really cold stuff burns just as much as really hot stuff.
Death and they're cold, they strip all their clothes off. Is that not strange? I mean, is that not the strangest thing in the world?
Pretty strange, yeah. But the Outlaw Pass, there was 2 victims that was found next to a tree with like bark and stuff underneath their fingernails where they were like trying to climb the tree. Then the other 3 were found crawling back to the tent.
Or they were being dragged and they were clinging on, right?
Oh, it could be a Wendigo. I ain't heard a Wendigo theory yet.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. They could have been pulled, right?
But really, for there being like no tracks and just those people and the blunt force trauma, it would literally have to be like a spaceship that came down, boarded them, tested them out, and then started flying around the forest. They're like, how do we get rid of them? And it's like, I don't know, just throw one out. They seem bouncy. And so they just start throwing them out, and a couple of them like hit the ground. And they're like, oh, nope, that didn't work. And he's like, well, just slow down a little bit.
Well, are you familiar with the theory that the Mansi people, reindeer herders, local to the area, they were natives?
Yeah, the reindeer people. They
had attacked and murdered them. I mean,
but they are very peaceful
theory,
people.
right?
They've never been known to attack like that. They're very peaceful, and there was no other tracks. The only tracks in the snow was from, like, something needed to be flying. You couldn't just walk up on them. There'd be more tracks. Oh,
but it does speak to it, like back to Channel 1 though, like how most of them did not have blunt force trauma. Right?
No, it was just the four. Just those four in the creek.
Right, which is
the other five. Three of them were crawling back to the tent, and two of them were dead at the bottom of a tree, and then there was four dead in the ravine, in a stream.
Right. Right.
And they were the ones with all the trauma. I just think those might be the first four. They just threw off the alien spaceship, and they just hit the ground and didn't bounce, and and then the other two, they're like, all right, let's lay these guys underneath the tree, and let's let these other three go. Just let them go. Don't hurt them. Just let them go. And they're the ones trying to crawl back to the tent. It's like, all right.
Right.
That's about the only really.
Exactly. Well, which makes you think it's like, did people start becoming like all sorts of autonomous, and then like in the manic stages started doing some really weird shit? Is what we're thinking. Like, well, I mean, come on, let's be honest. Like, the most probable thing is not an alien Bigfoot, right? It's not an alien Bigfoot.
I mean, there is like an alien
Bigfoot could have done that damage though.
But it would have to fly. It would have to fly. I mean, there was no other prints. Yeah, that mystery bugs me. That's why I think I've been looking so much into it. Because I mean, there is no explanation.
Which, as far as theories go, the term "cool theory," I don't know if that's like germane to proper like scientific conversation, but the coolest theory is alien Bigfoot.
Yeah, alien.
A Yeti, and I want to believe it was a Yeti.
Well, we've got it. There's a Bigfoot museum up here.
The biggest humanoid woolly booger that ever lived came out and just started smashing faces. But I believe six of the group members died of hypothermia, which is completely
I thought five of them did.
Like
did one of them in the creek?
No, six. Six of the group died from hypothermia.
Okay. So there was three crawling back to the tent, two dead under a tree, and there was four in the ravine. Did one of them in the ravine die of hypothermia?
Well, the six of the hypothermia lead to no degrees of injury, right? But it's the other ones that had blunt force trauma. What happened? Why? But also, it was like the manic behavior of several of them. Like, what happened? But then again, like when you get seriously cold, it's like what's it called? Like
a complete fucking mystery.
Undressing. It's cold. It's like freezing.
That's
whatever it is.
That's
when you're
really
freezing,
common with hypothermia.
It's a manic undressing.
It's like reverse. Right? There's a term for it. It's like reverse.
Yes, there is. Well, it's something. It's something. It's like undressing. It's like a manic undressing. Like you feel like you get hot before you die, even though you're in the snow. So you strip all your clothes, and then you die.
Yeah.
Which is crazy shit, right?
Yeah. It's like reverse something, some kind of brain cognitive. But being really cold feels like you're being really hot, so they try to get off all their clothes.
Do they hit hyperthermia before they die? Is that what happens? Because they die of hypo, but do they hit hyperthermia, and then that causes the manic undressing?
I don't know. Yeah,
Right?
maybe. That sounds right. Chalk that up.
I don't know. Yeah.
Count it.
Good enough.
Point.
Good enough for me. All right, on to the next one. Dial us up. We're going to put a pin on that, and we will probably come back to it. But what else you got on the
That's
docket?
funny. That's funny you hit the Outlaws Pass. I had one lined up. I was just going to do weird deaths through history. But
oh yeah, let's do it.
well,
Oh,
no, wait.
you're
Well, now I'm losing. I lost my phone, so I can't get back on the internet to find my notes. But
okay.
I'm just gonna
Well,
go. I'm just gonna go out of memory, and I'm gonna give you the American Dyatlov Pass, where there's no explanation.
Is that the
what
one
happened.
where they were going to the basketball game in California?
Yeah. The Yuba County Five.
Yeah, and they were all mentally retarded, right?
Yep. So you know a little bit about it too. So let me hit the story.
Oh yeah, dude. I am a true.
All right. Well, now this is cool because we do not let each other know.
We're everything out.
That's cool.
Right. Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Would you reach that with your Dyatlov Pass?
Oh yeah, dude. We're fucking in this one. But what is the moniker that they give, the title that they give that one out there in it was Los Angeles, right?
No, it was almost the exact center of California. Like if you could draw an actual center of California, Yuba County, the Yuba County five young adult males. I believe they were all around.
All mentally retarded.
I think they were all around 20 to like 22, 23.
I love how you say that because that's exactly how I word it too when I talk to my true crime friends. It is the American Dyatlov Pass incident.
It really is.
It is the American equivalent because they went out there. Okay, so you have mentally retarded guy driving a bus of mentally retarded people. Like, naturally, no offense to mentally retarded people, but it's like. It was like, you ever seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Yes. Who the fuck
ain't
seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Do you remember when Jack Nicholson took all them out to a fucking baseball game?
Yeah. Wait.
Okay, so that's what I'm thinking.
Okay, it's not like that.
What was Jack Nicholson's name in that movie though?
Oh,
I got to know that real quick. It's not McGee.
You got the Google. I don't. Look, you gonna let me tell my fucking story or not? Or you just gonna sit here?
Tell your story.
All right.
I can sit and pontificate for years, but go ahead.
Okay, so five mentally retarded kids from Yuba County. I'm just gonna let him laugh.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so.
Boy, you start out 5 mentally retarded kids. Okay, gotcha.
But they were like 19, 20 to 23. There was one older man.
Were adults.
There was one older man in the group, and I believe he was like 30, maybe
Black.
39, and he was a Vietnam vet. And there was also another mentally retarded guy, and he was like in his later 20s, and he was a Vietnam vet. So we got 2 Vietnam vets who, and 3 mentally retarded people. I say mentally retarded, but they weren't because really just 4 of them were. The oldest one, the Vietnam vet.
Well, I believe.
The oldest.
I believe they were intellectually disabled.
No, the oldest Vietnam vet guy, the 31 guy, excuse me. He was a schizophrenic.
No. That guy, I think it was more of a PTSD thing back in the day.
They diagnosed him schizophrenic, but he was on medicine, so he was fine. There was nothing wrong with him. And then the other 4.
Charlie's in the tree.
And the other 4 were mentally retarded, but one of them was another Vietnam vet.
Right.
And so they all went out.
Wasn't the driver just like?
God damn it,
Nick.
Let
me ask you but let me ask you a question. You know this better than me. Wasn't the driver like a regular retard? Like, wasn't he like just a normal human?
No.
Like he didn't go to war or anything. He didn't have PTSD. He's just like a regular
No, I think
retard,
I think the driver was the other Vietnam vet, but
was he? Okay.
he was. I've never really been able to find out like what kind of retardation they had.
Sure. What level?
You know, like are they
Level of
just are they autistic? Are they Downs? You know, like I don't know if there's.
Are they?
There's
got
not much, but I mean they seem to be. They seem to be well liked by everybody. Like everybody in the town just calls them the boys, and they play basketball.
Very interesting story though, because they were going to a basketball game, right?
Yes, yes.
Right.
Now let me tell my story.
I'm here for it.
Okay, so yeah. So they're on a local basketball team. They just love basketball. And their favorite basketball team is this college. And I don't remember the name of the college, and I'm not really here for information.
The way you say basketball is awesome.
Basketball.
the way you say basketball is amazing.
Thank you.
Basketball.
So they all go to this
You're
basketball
welcome.
game. People witness seeing them there. They the basketball game
make
ends.
it to the game, right?
Yeah, it's the basketball game ends.
Sorry to interrupt.
The next morning, they have their own game that they're very excited about. It's like Special Olympics worthy. I mean, they're trying to. It's like a tournament, and so they leave the basketball game.
Is that what it was? They were actually going to play.
Yeah, the next morning.
I did not know that. Okay.
So the last people to see them alive was a clerk at a convenience store that they stopped at right outside the stadium. She remembers seeing them.
Not true. Not true. Not true. That was not the last person to see them alive. The last person to see them alive was a man who had driven up there and then had a heart attack.
Did he really see them, though? Why do you keep interrupting my story? Stop. Let me finish this story, and then we'll discuss shit, okay?
Yes,
I'll let you tell your shit.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So the last person to see them alive was the woman who was running a convenience store, where they came in and bought some stuff, and she knew they came in because it closed at 10:30, and they came in at 10:25, and then they left, and they weren't seen again until they were discovered dead. Most of them. So the next morning, the game comes around, comes and goes. They don't show up. Nobody knows where they're at. A missing report is put out. Nobody has seen anything until the second Vietnam vet's car, who it was his baby. He loved his car. He took care of it, cleaned it, no trash in it. That was his car. Was found on a mountain 70 miles away from where they should be, in the middle of nowhere.
Which is strange.
Very strange.
I'm sorry, I got to jump in here.
With the windows rolled down.
Why were you there? That's the number one preeminent fucking thing about this whole story is why were you there?
He would have never left his window down in the snow like that. A search was made for 2 or 3 days. Nothing was ever found.
And why did you stop?
Finally, missing person posters were reported. And then a guy came forward who was saying that he was there that night. He was in a VW Bug, and he was going up that mountain to check on his hunting cabin because his family was going to go hunt the next day. Then on his way down, he had a heart attack and was stuck in his car.
Yes.
And he saw a car pull up, but he's in the middle of a heart attack.
Right.
Saw a car pull up. He said he saw people walking around it. He said he saw a woman carrying a baby.
Well, see,
and then we hollered out for help. Everybody disappeared.
Did he get medical help that night?
He eventually he saw people moving around the car twice. And it always looked like there was a woman with a baby. And every time he would call out for help, they would all disappear. And finally, at about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, he ran out of gas, and a man having a heart attack walked like 5 miles down a mountain to a restaurant at the bottom to get
That's what
medical
happened.
attention.
He went to the foot of the mountain.
And
Right,
everything
so he had a
was confirmed.
fucking goddamn heart attack. He had a goddamn heart attack, and he kept the heat on for 5 hours. And
Yep.
he was the last. He was the last person to see them alive, like I said earlier.
But who was the girl holding the baby? Did he really see him?
I
mean, he was having a heart attack.
I don't. Well, I mean, can we trust that? It's an unreliable narrator, isn't
Everything he said was proven. The restaurant, the hospital, the treatment of a
Yeah, but it gets even weirder, though. Like, you've only scratched the surface. It gets even
I'm
weirder.
getting there, dude. I'm not done. I ain't even got to when they find him.
Okay. Okay.
God almighty.
Buddy, go ahead. I'm here for it. Go ahead. Do it.
So, after a 2-month search, they found nothing. 6-7 months later, there's some guys riding dirt bikes on those hills.
Uh-huh.
And they pull into a ranger encampment. There's like 2 trailers and a propane heater and
Absolutely.
Food and stuff, and just a little outcrop, camp. And guy takes off his motorcycle helmet and is hit with the stench of death.
Right.
He sees one of the trailers has a broken window, so he looks in the window and he sees somebody in the bed, and then they go and see who's in the bed, and it's a rotten corpse. Everybody's brought in.
It is a corpse.
And it is one of our boys.
Yes.
And I
believe it was the driver
that boy
of the
was
car,
one of,
right?
This is the crazy part, that was one of our bigger boys. I think he was like, they said he was clean shaven.
I think he was the driver.
Like 280. And when they found his corpse, he had a beard and probably died at about like 180 pounds. And they figured that this guy lived for about 3 months.
Can I stop you there? We need to talk about that though, because he became emaciated.
Lost tons of weight.
For a while. That's wild, isn't it? And I do believe that one was the car owner.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't? Okay.
No, the car owner was found later.
Go ahead.
There was evidence that the guy lived there for like a long time. There was a propane tank, but wasn't turned on. The dude was under like 4 or 5 blankets. I think they said he died of hypothermia.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you again, but was there not available resources for heat? But
yes.
They didn't use
them? There was 3 cases of like
propane.
The rations, the K-Mills, the soldier like bagging a meal. I can't think of what they're called. Farting. K-rations? Ain't that what it was? The bag meals, like the meal in the bag. Military, like bagging the meal. 3 cases gone. So somebody lived there forever.
Of what? Oh, the MREs, right?
Yeah, MREs. The older versions.
MREs. There was
available
available food, there was available heat, and he didn't use any of it.
No, they used 3 cases.
That makes me think like that. They used 3 cases of
food? They used 3 cases. Somebody survived.
But
like
they didn't use any of the fuel to heat themselves, though,
no,
right?
There was no fuel being used. The only fuel that was there was a candle that was lit. The propane wasn't turned on.
Bullshit.
The lighter, the
right.
fireplace
wasn't lit. So what the fuck happened there? He's got to be retarded.
Yeah. But it was believed that the oldest one, the schizophrenic Vietnam vet, knew what to do.
Yes.
It seemed like he was there. I believe he had some of his stuff there.
Well, is there not a prevailing theory that he bludgeoned the other one to death, though?
No, there was no. I don't believe he was the only body found without like damage from feral animals.
Wasn't there a body that had blunt force trauma to their head?
No, there was some that were just being out in the wild, like wolves and coyotes probably got a hold of. But no, there was no like.
But I could have swore there was one of them in that wasn't it like a tenement or park rangers or whatever. Like it was an outpost or some shit.
Yeah, it was an outpost.
Was there not blunt force trauma on at least one victim in this story? I do believe there was blunt force trauma where somebody killed somebody. Somebody killed somebody.
I don't think so.
Real.
I really don't think so.
I think so.
All right. Well, then
and I think that
we'll look it up later,
and
we might pick that up on the next one.
I do believe there's a cache of food as well.
Oh, there's a huge cache of food. In the next trailer, there's supplies,
so
there's blankets, there's clothes, there's foods,
they had food, they had everything, but they didn't. I do believe that one didn't even use the fucking bed linens that were available.
Yeah, he was just under a bunch of sheets. He had like 7 or 8 sheets on top of it.
Right.
No
and
blankets.
I do believe there were bed linens that were available for him that he didn't even use. That's seriously strange. It makes me think that they got up there, everybody got wacky as fuck, and the guy with PTSD just started killing people.
Yeah, because he was never discovered.
Wasn't somebody found in a fucking locker or two?
No, they found the rest just scattered in the woods, but they believe they were brought all over the place by animals. And the owner of the car, the driver of the car was found in his clothes, and he had his keys in his pocket. So it ain't like they were robbed by somebody. Oh, and when the cops got up there, originally they found the car, and they hot-wired it, and it ran, and it drove. It wasn't stuck.
Right.
I mean, it was literally just sitting on the side of the road.
Well, see, that makes me think that somebody with mental instability started fucking everybody up. That's my general theory.
Maybe. And the guy that was schizophrenic...
Somebody who had power and the ability to kill started fucking people up because they were mentally unstable.
I believe I saw...
And then he died, too.
I saw a story about the guy that was the schizophrenic guy that was in Vietnam with the PTSD and all that. Like, ran away from home and ran away, like, in mid-California, and ran away all the way to Oregon to his grandmother's house. It took him like 2 weeks to get there. And he didn't hitchhike. He just made it through the woods. So, yeah, that you kind of, on that theory, you kind of lean on that guy, like, but... You know, maybe this dude was a dude that did it.
My presumption is that guy left about, 3, 4, 5 bodies and then just walked away from it.
But they also say that the first guy that was found dead in the bed, they think that the schizophrenic dude was the one that took care of him. And by all accounts, everybody says that this guy loved, the PTS dude loved that retarded dude. That he took care of him. He was with him all the time. That was his best buddy.
Right.
So I don't know why he just snapped and just killed everybody.
I did hear that too. What did he die from though?
He died from hypothermia. The one in the bed.
Also exposure.
Just
to the elements.
Yeah, just cold. He died of.
So he died from exposure. But the thing was, if there were more bed linens, there was plenty of fuel to fucking heat up the fucking house.
Yeah.
There was food, and the craziest fucking thing is people were starving and nobody ate the food. Why? There was food there.
Now they ate 3 cases. 3 cases of the K rations were gone, consumed. But then in the next trailer, there was still enough food to feed you for a year, several months.
Yeah, but I do believe somebody died of starvation when they were right next to food. Why?
Well, he froze to death because they didn't have no heat. But they could have easily had heat. I don't know. Like I said, man, this is the American.
But then again, if you're retarded, you can't figure out how to do anything.
We're gonna get canceled because all those retarded. Oh, let's say retard every 5 seconds.
You know what's so fucking wild is you're like, hey, you need to bring a story to the podcast, and I'm like, sure, I will. Is this the story that you actually thought about doing, or did you go off on a different tangent?
No, I had another one, but the phone we were going to use to record
that's it's so fucking wild that I picked the Dilatov Pass incident, and you're like, okay, I got the American one. I'm like, holy shit, we're the same person.
I just know about that, too.
Dude? Yeah, that one is interesting as fuck. Well, I mean, what do you think about it's a Mesky out there in Russia? What do you think about aliens, man? What do you think about aliens?
I mean, there's got to be something out there, right?
There's got to be something out there, right?
I mean, there's no way there can't be. It's too fucking vast.
Do you want to see one?
Yeah. Well,
you ever seen Mars Attack?
oh, I love that movie.
I fucking love that movie. I fucking love it. Dude, my wife has PTSD from that movie.
Oh, shit.
Dude, it makes her very unsettled, and it makes me fucking smile.
Well, hey, man, let me close out this podcast, and we'll just bullshit a minute. I'll call you back on my phone.
Okay, well, do we hit an hour?
We're at about 50 minutes.
Let's hit an hour. Well, let's hit an hour. I mean, are we the Good Old Boys podcast? I mean, what are we? We need a title.
I know. We need to work on a title.
Good Old Boys? Or
we got about 11 minutes left, but
jump stock and shit. What the fuck are we?
I don't know. That's something we're going to have to discuss.
And we do outro music. That's all on you. I'll do a little diddling.
Oh, this shit's gonna be raw. I don't know how to do any of that yet.
All right, so you got that locked in the vault, dude? That shit was solid.
Yeah, we recorded. I'm gonna put it up on the YouTube. We'll see if anybody will listen.
Fuck yeah.
I'll support.
Fuck yeah. Oh, Josh is definitely what. Dude, I'm gonna listen to it.
All right, man. Well, then I guess
the next one.
I guess I'll call you right here in a little bit.
Podcast over.
Yeah,
we're
man.
Gonna record the next one. Cheers.
I love you.
Dude, I'll do another hour with you. Fuck it. I love you too, buddy.
I love you.
Hey, I'll always end with I love you too.